Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and today we're doing a quick video on replacing front speakers in a 2016 and same body style JKU. This will include removing the factory speaker and housing, the tweeter. Once we get everything out, we'll show you how to wire everything up. Now if you choose to go with components, we'll show you how to reinstall components with a crossover and get everything reinstalled. We've already dropped down the glove box here because that's going to give us the space we need to get the box out. Now, as you can feel it, it's this big box with the speaker on the inside there. What we need to do is loosen the bolts holding that box in, and then we're going to pull the box through the glove box opening there. Once we get the big box with the speaker out, that's where we're going to mount the crossover and our mid-range speaker as well. Up here, there's a little cover that goes up and over the tweeter. That's just held on with two clips. You can use a little panel tool and actually just get up underneath that. They're super nice and easy to pop on out. Now you can use the standard or metric size, whatever fits. Generally for metric it's 7mm. Here's that cover there. Two screws are holding the tweeter up above, and a few bolts down below as well. So let's go get started. Provo Beast Audio Installation channel is sponsored by NVX and Sonic Electronics. Get 10% off all speakers, amplifiers, wiring kits, and more with coupon code PBAI at NVX. Also get 5% off all car audio components at Sonic Electronics with coupon code ProvoBeast. Alright, so be sure to pop this off, just held on with clips. Once that's off, you're going to see there's two bolts here. One here and one here. Go ahead and remove those, and then you'll have one up underneath as well. That's a little harder to get. Disconnect your harness on the inside. Right there. There's a little tab and it pops on out. Once those three bolts have been removed, then we're going to work this speaker box outside this hole. Okay, so we removed those two screws, disconnected our harness. Okay, so we went ahead and removed both 7mm bolts on that side. And up underneath there is a 10mm holding in the bottom portion of the box. Once that's out, it's nice and loose. Let's go in here and disconnect our harness, which we have. We'll work it out here. And we're out. So let's head over to the bench and get the new one installed. Okay, so we got our box here pulled apart. We unmounted the speaker. There's only 3 screws, Phillips screws holding that in. And we cut out the speaker, but we left the factory wiring here. Now we stripped the wires here, and we're going to use these. We also pulled out the grommet here in the back, just to give us a little bit more space as we work with this wiring. Now we're going to keep this, since we're using a component set, we have to use a crossover. Generally crossovers have an input, a mid-range speaker output, and a tweeter output. And to keep this out of moisture, we're actually going to mount it inside the box. To keep it out of the way, it'll be just fine in there. It'll keep away from moisture. The tweeter wire, the output for the tweeter, will run through this grommet as well, so that can go up to the dash area. And then the mid-range woofer output will keep and mount on our speaker, and our speaker will mount to this position. We're using NVX V-Series 6.5 component set. If you're interested in these, I'll throw a link in the description. These are great speakers for the money. Highly recommended. So let's go ahead and connect this. Red is positive, green is negative, to the input of our crossover. Okay, so we got everything all wired up. This will go to our mid-range here, plugs to the back of the speaker. This has been fed through to the back, and then we got our input side all done as well. Now I have discovered that there's a nice flat spot for our crossover in here. Right there, it's nice and flat, and we're going to put 2 screws through those mounting spots there, and that'll be nice and secure in there. We won't have any issue of it rolling around or clinking around in there. And then we'll put our grommet back in the back. Okay, we got our crossover mounted there. nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. Now let's go ahead and mount up our speaker and put the grommet back in. Got everything wired up here. Go ahead and get this all lined up. And we're gonna put 4 new screws, get this all mounted. Okay, all is mounted, good to go. That's one solid piece. Again, this will just run up to the tweeter that we'll put in the dash and wire it into that tweeter. Now let's chat about the tweeter. We picked up these Chrysler, Fiat, Dodge, and Jeep tweeter adapters. I'll put a model number down in the description in case you want to pick these up. These are super easy and nice to retain that factory bracket so it bolts right up. They're not perfect because they're universal Jeep Chrysler ones, but they're pretty close. What we did is we cut a 2-inch hole to mount our tweeter there, and then put just a little bit of hot glue to secure it because this one doesn't have a nut. Just enough. It's already held in with pressure, but that just ensures it won't pop on out. And then we're going to strip these ends. Our positive is the one with the red stripe, negative has no stripe. And we'll wire this to our output from our crossover in the dash there and get this all mounted. Alright, so we got our speaker box back in and plugged in the harness. On this end, we ran that speaker wire up to this. Use some butt connectors. You can use bolt connectors, or you can solder if you want to bring a soldering iron in here. Now what this will do is just tuck on in here. Now you're able to bolt one side up, the other one doesn't fit just barely, so we'll just put a new screw in there, which will secure this nicely, and then the cover will go right back over the top. In here we'll put our 2 bolts back in, the one 10mm up underneath there. This is the other end, so if you get it from the inside, it's a 10mm. Alright, got those 2 screws in, got our cover back on, got the screw in the bottom, glove box back in, and the cover back on top. All good to go. If you have any questions about this speaker install, just go and post a comment below. Thanks guys for watching the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we will see you in the next video.